How are you, Miss Von Bank?
I'm in trouble if you say it with three separate syllables, like my mom would say Jessica.
How are you, Jessica?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. The week went so fast. It was such a fun week. Did you have a good week?
I did have a really good week. Fun. Um, ooh, I forget my phone here in the airport if I leave that there. Fun. Yeah, I did have a fun week. Yeah. But it's definitely, I haven't even seen you. I really haven't talked to you, so my fun is different than your fun. Did you
Oh,
have a fun week? Actually, that's a good question to ask people. Like,
yeah,
we're still gonna do the green, yellow, red, but did you have a fun week? It's an
that's
interesting
such a good
question.
question.
Yeah. So, do
Uh,
you want to explain your fun week?
I loved, like sometimes you just work and it's just work. You just do your stuff and
Look
it's
at Sarah's on here.
Sarah.
My God, Sarah is like, no one even knows Sarah. Sarah's like the engine that keeps all of us running here.
She
Um,
definitely is.
so Sarah does amazing work. I don't even know what to call Sarah.
Well, number
She
one, she has to keep you and I sane and organized. So that's a big job.
Sarah does all of our travel, does all of our expenses, does all of our scheduling, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, Sarah, thank you for being here. And thank you
Yeah.
for everything you do. Just to see your name here made me light up.
Do you know that next week I'm in New York and then Boston? And I asked Sarah to put me on the train. I literally wanted to take the train from New York to Boston because I've done it before the other way, that high speed train, whatever that one is. And it was so fun. So here I am with fun again. So efficient, such great work time, good Wi-Fi. I don't want to go to another airport for such a short trip. I'm looking forward to that.
You're in New York next week?
Mhm.
I'm in New York next week.
What?
Uh, I think
We're not doing the same thing.
now that Sarah's here, I wonder if she's supposed to
Sarah,
tell us that
you're
we're
supposed to see the
on the
Venn
same flight.
diagram
Yeah,
overlap.
exactly. That would have been funny if we showed up at the airport and we both were on the same flight on the same day and didn't even know about it.
Oh my gosh.
We have
Uh,
someone here. We have Tang from Taiwan.
I love it.
Hi, Tang. How are you? It's so good to see you. And Tilly, her week was blah until an hour ago, and she started using Claude, which is cool. I know Tilly so well. Well, I don't know her that well, but to know Tilly and I'm just my visual of watching her with Claude uh, is interesting.
Tilly, we are doing a little show and tell today. So if you want to come on and show and tell what you're playing with, you are welcome to tell us in the chat.
For, for sure, if you want to, if you
If you
want
want
to,
to.
only if you want to. So
I had a
Jess,
fun week. Nobody's telling us if they had a fun week, other
right,
than
exactly.
Tilly. I had a fun week because I
That kind
loved
of bombed.
I loved everything I delivered this week. Sometimes you just have a blast delivering stuff, like putting, what you're putting together and sharing and the engagements and the discussions and stuff. I just loved everything I touched this week. I had a blast. Sometimes that's a really simple way to say I had fun at work.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I'd love to. Do you see other people saying they're having fun?
Nicole deconstructed furniture and rearranged a bedroom, which is always fun. Yeah, that can be fun. It's a good way to test a relationship. Try to do that with somebody and see if you're still talking at the end.
Anyone else?
Jason, you look like you are having fun in an airport lounge.
I am. I am in Washington, D.C. I just had a great client meeting, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. But yeah, had a great client meeting, and yeah, I'm on the way back for a couple days until I head to New York. Chris camping in southern Colorado, which is great. Camilla, husband had bad strep all week. Oh, my
Ugh.
cat! Holy cow! This whole cat thing. That, that- oh my God! The cat had five teeth. Like I am very empathetic to the cat having five teeth removed, but hmm, I hope your cat. I hope your cat is okay. And come on. I hope you have it on a leash
Yeah.
when those teeth were
Summer
removed.
conversation. Great
Um,
conversations. And
Opal, great conversations at any least of getting a new roof. Um, Cat watching the show, co-pilot to analyze 70 meetings. Oh,
wow.
some cool stuff. Yeah. So I'm glad everyone had fun.
Good.
How's everyone green, yellow, red? Green, great. Yellow, so-so. Red, not so good. Uh, I'm green. I'm really
Oh,
green.
John, happy
John,
birthday.
happy birthday. 74. That is very cool.
How old did you say Ozzy is?
76.
6. 74
Do you
years
think John could do the Ozzy Osbourne thing for us?
old. I don't know.
Bob Pulver's yellow. I did get a text from Bob a few
Hmm.
minutes ago that made me green. I guess I shouldn't be talking about my texts, but yes, green. Um, Chris is getting a massage. That's good.
Willis.
Green. We didn't really get a lot of people saying whether they were green, yellow, red, did we? Uh,
Let's
I'm
go,
green.
people.
Anyone new here? I think Tang. I think that's why Tang's probably like, what the heck? I used to ask if anyone's new. Now I don't ask
Oh, yeah, we
anymore.
used
It's
to
like,
start with that.
is anyone new? Um, I always look for names that are new. Um, Kendra's here. You know, we had a great team call yesterday? Well, team,
Yeah.
like 300 people.
Yeah.
Kendra got a big call out on that team call yesterday. That made me
Yeah,
green, which
it
was
did.
good. Oh,
Mark,
look at Mark's here. Man, we have some
we
good
missed you.
we have some good folks on here.
Yeah.
Wow, we have a Kendra fan.
Yep. Good.
Hey Jess, you want to see something?
Uh-huh.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Look at this. You see that?
This a pic. Did you just ask for a picture of Tilly using Claude?
Yes. How's that for creativity right there? Tilly using Claude.
Look at Tilly. Oh my God. Is it accurate, Tilly? Is that how happy you look using Claude?
Sorry, I just had to have some fun with that.
Oh
But
my
yes.
God. I love
So
it.
anyway, lots of greens. The next thing we always do, you guys, is one big thing. And I'd love to hear one big thing from as many of you as humanly possible this week. Something that sparked you, something that made you happy, something that made you feel accomplished, something that made you proud, something that made you whatever adjective you want to use for the rest. I have so many this week, but I have to go through and pick one. Tang, you are the new one, which is great. And it's so good to have you here. Bob released his 75th podcast episode this morning. That is huge.
That is huge.
Bob, do you know what percentage of people that release podcasts don't get past 8?
Yeah.
It's 1%.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So, Bob, congratulations. And I hope you put a chat in here. My 17-year-old daughter is heading to Tanzania
Yeah.
today for a month. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Mark, chapter 1 of my book is done. Uh, Very, very
Aw.
cool. Mark, I am going to send you an email later on because I listened to someone who is writing a book with and how they're using AI, and I want to make sure you're doing it. Released our first podcast episode this morning. Season 1 is only 7, so we'll have to see if we beat that start. But the fact you're doing a season, Nicole, and
Yes.
doing that is great.
You have a plan.
Set up a ton of our work in Asana, getting us out of too many spreadsheets, decks, and emails. More time for heads work and hearts work and not hands work, Jess.
Yep. That's good.
Got our windows on our house replaced yesterday. Still need to put the house back together, but loving the quiet already. Booking an out of the country trip for January. Helped a friend who's going through a bad time with her family. Love all these. Tang, our one big thing moment is when you talk about and take a second to think about one thing that you did this week that made you happy, made you proud, et cetera, et cetera. So I'd love for you to put your one big thing in there if you can. Jess, you want to talk about yours?
My one big thing is I actually forgot about it until you until you said that. My one big thing earlier
I'm
this
not sure if it's a one big thing if you can forget about it so easily.
Oh, you just wait. This is a good one.
Okay.
I think you were home in Minneapolis earlier this week. Do you recall a few nights ago, we had the craziest skies, like or the light, the sunset, there was something about the system that was moving through. So my oldest asked if we could run to Target. She wanted snacks. She just wanted like a little snack run to Target. We ran inside, we got some things, and we walked out of Target, and the sky had changed while we were inside. We walked out and the sky was so crazy orange and pink. I mean, it was like, I can't even describe it. I have a picture, it just won't even do it justice. And we walked out and the sky had like literally transformed itself to the point where everybody was stopping in their tracks and like looking out their car windows. And then we walked out and I had this grocery bag in my arms and it was so jaw dropping. I can't even explain that I literally like something fell out of my grocery bag. It was like we literally stopped and our jaws dropped and we looked up at the sky and something fell out of my bag and a couple of girls ran over and picked it up for me. People were getting out of their cars and taking pictures, and then there was this massive double rainbow, like that orange on one side and like this massive double rainbow on the other side. So we get in the car and we're driving home and we drove by a Trader Joe's and everybody was out in the parking lot taking pictures of the sky. It was crazy. Like it was the most beautiful sky I think I've ever seen. And Ainsley said, "This is so human right now, Mom." And it was just that one simple line. I was like, "You're right. This is so human right now." Everybody just like in
Huh.
awe at the sky and taking pictures of the sky. That was definitely my one big thing of the week.
Huh. Wow. Now you've made me rethink mine
It
and got me a little teary, actually.
was
But
so amazing.
yeah, that was. Do you have a picture?
Yeah, I'll find it. It's not going to do it justice.
Um, yeah, right, because that wouldn't be human. Um,
Right.
so my but I'd love to hear some other one big things in the chat, by the way. Um, oh yeah, that is beautiful.
I mean, like I can't even describe how orange. Oh no, it was so like, yeah, jaw dropping.
Do you think we should have like a part of the show where we show the last photo in our camera roll?
Sure. There's Kenna's softball game last night.
Hey, you want to see mine?
Ben's Chili Bowl. Did you eat there? Or
No,
did you
but I
send
was
it to
walking through
Ben?
the airport yesterday and I was talking to my son and he said, I'm having chili. My son's name's Ben. He's home from Malaysia and wanted chili. And I was like, oh my God, I'm walking by his side. So that was the last picture I took. Um,
Tell me your phone doesn't listen to you.
well, that no, that was just happened to be that way.
No, I
So
know.
my one big thing is going to get us into it is Chris actually where Obama went to eat. Yes, there's a picture of him I passed yesterday. My one big thing this week is, and we're going to talk about in a few minutes, is I've spent a big part of my week this week working with clients on, I'm just going to say and
Mm.
it's not a really good way to say it, but I don't even know what to say. I'm not going to say transformation. I'm not going to say reframing. I'm not going to say resetting. I'm just going to say Um, and I think the biggest part of my week has been watching when you see people spark and all of a sudden say like, oh my god, like I'm excited about the future. Oh my gosh, like seriously, we're gonna do that. It's crazy, 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 crazy to me. And yes, Nicole, I have started doing a lot of work with clients of all shapes and sizes, by the way, clients as well as non-clients. Um, because I just made this part of my mission, which is why I love it so much, I think, in watching these sparks. Um, it's yes, and if you're not following on Substack,
Mhm.
it's fun to watch people comment and interact and do some of the like right there on that platform. But I think that's it, Jess. I think that the gratification to take someone who's been doing a job or had a mindset for 30 or 40 years, and all of a sudden watch them say, I'm excited about my job again, or I'm excited. Oh, thanks
Mm,
for putting that link there. Or I'm excited about my life again, or I'm excited about something again. It's really, really cool.
mhm.
Um, it's a different, it's something, something's different about it. And I don't know what it is, but that's my one big thing. And I guess that it kind of leads into my um one, yes, Jess's Substack got my brain reeling too. Jess, by the way, Jess always has my brain reeling. For those of you who don't get to work with Jess, if you just say good morning to her on Teams, her response gets your brain reeling because you have no idea what the F she might be thinking about. Um, but the the moment that we're in of transformation and change and stuff like that is just really, really cool. And it's not something that I think we've ever gone through before. And I'll tell my DC story here in a second. But that's my one big thing is just seeing people, including my mom, by the way, who I talk about a lot, who's 84. And I had the opportunity to spend some time with her this week as well, um, light up and understand something related to the moment that we're in. It's
Mm.
all just really rewarding. It's more than one big thing. It's lots of big things.
You know, to that end, and partly with Nicole's comment, uh, I think you get a sense of when we get requests. So I'm not a typical consultant. We deliver so much work to so many clients, and we have an army of consultants who deliver all of our best stuff. The requests that I get tend to be um, thought leadership keynotes, future of work, inspirational, like learn and design workshops. It's a little bit on the edge on, and you do too, Jason, like
Yeah.
anything that's sort of futuristic, innovation, what's next, not your typical, sort of fare. The fact that almost every request I'm getting these days, I don't have material for. I don't have the deck ready because you're asking me a question that's a really good question and I don't have a canned answer. I haven't repurposed a single piece of delivery in ages, in
Yeah.
months. So the fact that we're getting all these inbound requests from progressive, curious, innovative, envelope pushing companies who are trying to take the next step, they don't even know what to ask for. They don't, and they're not asking for canned material. And the fact that I go, oh, that's really good. I'll build that for you. Like that's most of what I'm seeing lately, and that's what you're pushing so hard into, Jason.
Yeah. No,
Sign
it
of the
really, really
times.
is. And that, and what leads to, I mean, and by the way, this is, one of the things that I'm doing a lot of talking about now is the difference between knowledge and wisdom. And I think that what you're doing is you're applying more of your wisdom to things than in the past where you've been focusing on knowledge.
Yeah. Here's
Um,
everything we have and everything we know. Let's teach
right. Like
you.
I'm so sick of reading surveys
Yeah.
numbers off of a slide to people and things like that versus how do you take this and apply it to something that you're doing. So I want to share this story in VQ today. So I wrote something, and once again, and I was trying to break down this concept of something that's really bothering me, which is people taking AI, which I've stated before on here, which I think is probably the most transformative technology in our time, and applying it to old stuff.
Mm,
Um, and the phrase I used in the writing I did on Wednesday, which I create an image for, and I may show it to someone at some point. It took me a while, and I had a lot of fun with it. With you know, digital lipstick on an analog pig, and I don't know why, but I love saying it. And I used to say lipstick on a pig for a long time. I used to
mhm,
say frosting on a moldy cake for a long time, and I'm like, okay, what's another way of saying this? And it really got me. I couldn't even use AI to come up with it. I was like, what is going on? Like, and it's like, we're not putting lipstick on a pig. It's like a different kind of lipstick on a pig. And
mhm,
what I did in DC today was apply this. concept, and I hope people get comfortable with it. I think it's so important, called first principles, which is how do you break things down to zero? Not break things down to 80%, not break things down to 60%. And I think so often in life we lift and shift, or maybe we lift and move a little bit, and that's the shift. But I don't think we oftentimes break things down to say, based on the world we live in today, let's start at zero. So, what I was working on today with an HR leadership team was this concept of someone saying we're using AI for job descriptions. And I was like, by the way, this is what we're talking about, you guys, for the rest of our time.
The
Not
piggiest pig there is.
we're not talking about this AI for job descriptions, but we're talking about new ways of thinking. And I
Mhm.
I would love for you guys to chime and make this interactive. We wanted no guests today on purpose because we wanted to just open up with you guys and share. But the concept of doing job descriptions with AI being the number one thing, and then when you ask someone to show what they're doing to use AI for job description, they're actually taking the job description they already have, putting it into AI and saying, could you check this for bias? Could you check this for X? That's not using, I mean, excuse me, let me rephrase. That is using AI for job descriptions, but could we, Jessica, go back and say, do I really need job descriptions?
Mhm.
Like, let's not do that. Does that make sense? Like, let's not do that. Let's go back and actually say, do I need job description? Or if I do need job descriptions, how do I apply job description, first principle thinking to a job description? Like, oh, take a job description, put it in AI, and say, change it completely. Let's tie it to skills, tie it to tasks, and then make sure it flows and understands what could I do to train people, teach people, where should I look for these people, and how do I make sure that recruiters are using this in different ways to recruit people?
Mhm.
But if you think about that, a job description as just a block of text, I think it's such a really uh, Neanderthal. Ugh, that's not a good way to say it, but you know, I think it's not. It's too shallow of a way to use this technology, and I just wish people would stop before they start and just like hit a reset button or and say, with a first principles mindset, how did we do this? And what I wrote about is I wrote about the example of like Tesla, and Tesla, when they decided to get in the car business, like they didn't have to build electric, right? But what did they want to do? They wanted to build electric, right? They wanted to take the car and fix some of the problems that the world was having. So how do you stop and think about that? And that's the way that HR is going to change. That's the way our business and our world is going to change if we do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the rest of the time today, what we want to do is talk about things like that, because there are going to be some massive AI announcements coming out in the next couple of weeks that are going to make us completely rethink how we've even been using AI up until this point.
Mm. For search. New search functionality, I bet.
Oh yeah. So what is search?
I want to comment really quickly on a couple of things. Opal, you're right. And Nicole, you as well. HR is the most dug in function with the way we've always done this thinking. And Opal, you make a great point about job descriptions. There is a purpose for a job profile internally. And I think part of the reason HR is so dug in is because they actually have to manage. There's a huge administration burden that HR is responsible for, categorizing people, who's in what role and function, and how do they get evaluated, paid, tagged for promotion. And so job profiles for an internal use case serve a very specific person to make sure we know who's doing what and how they're getting paid and promoted. but externally, unfortunately, we flip a very internal description externally and expect it to sound exciting and to attract the right person and to sound human and all of that. That's one of the mistakes we make with job descriptions. But Nicole, I don't say that to make an excuse for HR. Yes, HR is the function that's responsible for administration and compliance and the ticky-tacky stuff, but that's a reason, not an excuse, not to break things up and drive innovation and think differently. But Jason, please, I'd love to see more.
Yeah. So when we start to think about that, and I want to just make sure I read the comments. You know, what we've been using AI for. Think about this for a second, if we could. Yeah, and one of the things that's been going through my mind a lot lately is a lot of people saying we're stuck in kind of a messy time with AI. And it got me thinking about the last biggest, and I'd ask you guys to play along with me for a second on this. The last biggest change that we all kind of had to make as humans. And if you think about what it was COVID. Now, some of us had to make changes individually before that, but the last biggest change we've all had to make together was COVID. And COVID was a crisis. And what did we all do? Like we locked up, like we and moved back. Like we're like, oh man, like we can't go to the office tomorrow. Oh wow, the NBA games are canceled. Oh wow, I better put on a mask. Oh wow, I better make sure that like that we have ways for people to work from home. Oh man, I got to make sure that we have a way for kids to learn from home. And that was not clean, but guess what? We did it and we did it really, really fast. Okay, we went from 0 to 1 in months. Think about that. 0 to 1 in months. Does anyone remember this?
Mm-hmm.
No one's chatting. So I'm
I
like, I'm
know.
scared I'm boring people. But
They're
does everyone remember this?
enraptured.
Like we went from 0 to 1 in months. AI work, it's stretched out. Does that make sense? It's stretched out. Like
Yeah.
at end of 22, ChatGPT came. Then, oh, 23 came along and we did this. Then 24 came along. Then 25 came along. And we're all kind of like, where is this going to go? And should I trust it? And things like that. And what's really, really important for us to understand is we may have to create our own little crises in order to get
Yeah.
people in our lives to move forward. Okay, because we as humans, when there is a crisis, we go fast. When there isn't a crisis, what ends up happening is we kind of kick the can. Is it safe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And with AI, what is happening, unfortunately, is what happened when Uber came out. If you think about when Uber came out in 2010, everyone got really excited that I actually could go on a phone, order a car, and guess what? It showed me when it was coming and it was here. Right? And everyone got really excited all at the same time. But now, are you excited about it? No, it's kind of like boring. AI is following this same path. And right now we're on this massive up where everyone's paying attention to it. Everyone's saying it's going to kill jobs. Everyone's saying it's going to kill blah 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 blah. It's going to make jobs. No, everyone's saying different things. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that all of that together is us creating the future of what
Mhm.
this is going to be, and it's going to stabilize. We watched a brand new AI model get released yesterday, Grok, Grok 4. And it's crazy. I read some stuff. By the way, the model is brilliant, but I read some stuff and people were like, yeah, it's just an incremental change. It's not very good, et cetera, et cetera. And so what we do, and by the way, like think about this phone. This phone is not that different from the first iPhone, even though
Mhm.
it's a 16. Like we all get really excited and then we kind of start to, it's not as massive of a change anymore. ChatGPT 5 is going to be released next week. ChatGPT or OpenAI is releasing a browser next week that will probably be the new browser that replaces Chrome in your lives. And what you're going to be able to do with it is going to be mind blowing. Okay. But once again, another new thing. How does that all of a sudden change the world? Okay. So I guess all of that, where I'm trying to get to, Jess, is that it's such an exciting time. The tech is moving so fast, yet we're kind of still,
Mhm.
and Nicole, I love some of the points that you're bringing in. Like, can we stop education and prior experience? What would it look like? How do we mitigate bias? Those are all the messy middle things that
Yeah.
we're working through. But if we don't work through them, they're not going to go away. We have to work through them to bring them to completion.
You know, earlier this week, so we host an AI forum every other month. Some of you are on it. Tell me in the chat if you caught this one. Our July AI forum was the highest attended it's been ever. And so apparently we still can't get enough of talking about AI. Not only do people keep coming back, like it's like standing room only. And on this particular one, we invited our Marsh colleague to talk about the evolving risk profile of business. So we took a little bit of a different view. We didn't show a single piece of tech. We didn't demo tools. We didn't talk about use cases. We talked about what changes. If this is as successful as it can be and will be, what changes from a risk management perspective as a business, how you design a workforce, all of those things. Uh, and so it was a really interesting conversation. If you were there, tell me tell me if you agree. But somebody in the chat said, the more you talk, the more overwhelmed I feel. And I think and I can't stop thinking about it because I think there is excitement, especially from your early adopters and your pioneers and the people who are on board. Yep, let's go. This can be good for everybody. Even if you have that mindset, it's still a lot to consume. It's sort of like like think about your body, how you metabolize and food and create energy. Like it's just a lot to metabolize and find energy for and keep that momentum going. But especially if you're sort of feeling a little bit dragged through this, like I don't know how to keep up. This is a lot of work. I thought I was doing this. Now I'm being asked to focus on this and figure this out. I'm worried about the bias stuff and the responsible approach to all of this. Who's taking care of that? So if there's even a little part of you that's sort of like leaning back, then it gets even harder. And so I agree with everything you're saying. And I wonder if some of what people are feeling isn't just change fatigue. We talk so much about change fatigue. It's really just sort of the overwhelm of keeping pace with this.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So I wanted to do something. I want to show you something really quickly, Jess.
Yeah.
So if you take a look at my screen, do you see my screen?
Yep.
This is a video that you and I did at HR Tech with our partners Fuel 50.
Oh my gosh. That must be
Okay.
ages ago.
Now, watch this. Give me two quotes from Jess that will relate to her love of humans. Okay. Now notice, you guys, I didn't do anything. I'm in a browser called Comet. Okay, I'm not in a browser called Chrome. Okay, I'm in a browser called Comet. So I didn't paste any video. All I did was whatever screen I was on, I basically asked a question about that screen. And this just pulled out two quotes from Jess.
Mm.
Employees calling the shots on their own behalf. That's why this is such a massive opportunity to democratize the experience of work, to democratize opportunity. What an opportunity for people to live better lives. How much did Jess speak versus Jason in this interview? Now, you're like, that's kind of a dumb question. But what I'm trying to show you is the power of having AI built into your browser.
Mhm.
So instead of pulling out a YouTube site, or
Somebody's
instead of copying and pasting and finding a transcript, notice what's happening. This browser because I got AI built in, is now doing a Python program saying Jess spoke for 17.8% of the time, while Jason spoke for
Oh,
82.2% of the time. Now, now I'm embarrassed.
interesting.
I didn't do that with any
You shouldn't have
kind.
showed me that.
Yeah, I didn't do that with any kind of thing in mind. But it's really fascinating to watch this. Now, let's do something else. Let's go on to the Dairy Queen job site. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to the Dairy Queen job site. Now look where I'm at.
Lovely.
Okay, lovely job site.
Yeah.
I live in Fargo, North Dakota. I want a job. Are you hiring? Okay, now notice I didn't type in anything. I didn't do anything. Okay, all it did was looked at both my job, the site that I was on, as well as wouldn't just look at the site, but also went on other sites like Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and WorkStream for openings in Fargo and came back with answers. Okay, look at all the sources it went through.
Mm-hmm.
Now, think about this for a second in a first principles way. Do you need career sites anymore?
Mm.
I don't know the answer. I'm just asking you to think about it. So if you just had a prompt, I could say, from the same place, can you tell me about Smashburger in Fargo? Okay, I didn't go to the Smashburger site. So it makes you start to think, now from their site, Smashburger is located here. Here are their hours. Cool. If you want a good experience, but are they hiring? And the reason I'm throwing this out there, and you guys, I can't do too much of this because so many people listen to this on a podcast. But look, Dairy Queen's hiring. And I could go, oh, what about Smashburger? So all of a sudden, a prompt within a browser could take the information from a browser and show me what's there. Oh, Smashburger is also hiring. Can you help me create a resume by asking one question at a time that makes me a great candidate to work at Dairy Queen? Oh, now am I baiting the system? Gathering information to help craft a strong resume. Now, once again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but what specifically could I say to get Dairy Queen to hire me based on their values? Interesting. Because I happen to be on their site. Hey, if you say you're empowered, if you say you're inclusive and diverse, if you say you're forward thinking, if you say you're better together. Oh, and by the way, you might want to do a cover letter and you may want to tailor your language. How many calories in a blizzard? Medium. I'm just playing, you guys. But as you can see, I'm on a site. And from this site, I'm never going anywhere else. Now, if you wanted to, you could easily here's, by the way, lots of calories in there. Watch this. I'm on LinkedIn. Give me every mention of Jess Von Bank in the last 4 hours. Okay, now how would you do that if you didn't have the browser attached to
Right.
LinkedIn? It would be hard because my browse. Notice what what AI is doing is it's looking at this. Notice my browser is lit up. It's actually searching through every mention of Jess Von Bank in the last 4 hours, which then I could start to found 2 notifications, Jess, in the last 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I could start to say, oh, it looks like John tagged you and Brad tagged you, and that got 46 reactions and 13 comments, all in the same post. So the point, you guys, is that when you have a browser, and when the browser starts to be the thing that ties in your ability instead of copying and pasting, it changes a lot of things. Your data is all different.
Can you
That's a
confirm for
that's a
everybody what you were using?
that's a tool called Comet. Sorry, by Perplexity. So that's the Perplexity engine with Comet. Okay, you can download the Comet browser today and use it. Now, think about going to Workday.
Mm-hmm.
And signing in and asking questions in your browser. Think about having a report on your screen and talking to your report. Now, all of a sudden, what happens to all the functionality that the vendors are providing when all of a sudden your browser has the ability to do that right there?
Nicole. Well, to Nicole's earlier point, as you were demoing Jason, she said, does this eliminate the paradox value prop? Not at all. It is the paradox value prop. They literally created conversational AI to help candidates navigate the hiring process more easily. This is that. But to Bob's comment, this is now open, public AI tooling any developer could interface with to create something on the fly, or not even build a whole system. It's just in browser use case. So does this change the HR tech industry?
It totally does.
Absolutely.
This is going to disrupt the entire software industrial complex, 100%. Marvin, do you think the HR and TA is ready? They have to be ready.
Yeah.
Do I think they're ready? No. I mean, I'm going to show you guys another demo of something, and I hope you guys have done this. If you haven't, please do it. Go into Lovable and create an app. Okay. I want to create a community app for people that walk cats with leashes. I want to know the cat's name, how long the leash is, and tell me what other information could bring this community together to share their love of felines. Okay, now what you're going to see is, for those of you that don't know how to code, of course, you're going to sign in. And once you're signed in, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And what this is doing is building me an app, excuse me. It's called the Cat Leash Collective app. It gave it a name.
I like it.
Okay, the Cat Leash Collective. Now, think about going and buying apps. I love this, a community app. Just the fact that it said I love it, Jess, is really cool. It evokes the cozy, adventurous spirit of pet lovers. Here's the design inspiration. Think Instagram meets hiking community apps with warm, friendly cat aesthetics. It's weird. Videos. Here's the first version. Here are the design elements. Now it's going ahead and creating the app for me. Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know how to code, this is creating an app. And if you think about how the world is changing, every meeting I go into now, I create a specific app for it. So when I go meet with a client or do a workshop with a client, I'm not using anything else. I'm going in here, creating an app saying, pull all their corporate history, pull all their corporate quarterly reports, pull any quotes from the people from their LinkedIn bios, and turn it into an app that we can use to have a discussion about first principles use of AI. Now, think about how that changes everything we do. When you have a tool where you can go build, and once again, I'm not going to show you guys all the code, but every one of these, as you can see, there's this has done all of this coding already behind the scenes for my app. So for those of you that are not coders, once again, which is most of us, we don't want to know how to do this. So this is now creating this app for me, and we'll see it, be live, before we get done here. But I hope you all take moments to try this because once again, from an AI standpoint, our people today and our companies that are used to coding, what are they going to do going forward? They're going to validate and verify. So they're not going to be coders. They're going to be validators and verifiers. I'm going to pause because I see the chat lighting up. I'm going to go back to going ahead.
David's dog's having a moment.
Yeah, and David. David. Speaking of David, I have to. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, but hopefully I'm going to be able to. Um, one of the things that I love about AI, while that app is being created, um, oh, there we go. It's done. I'll show you the app in a second here. But one of the things I love about where, oh, you guys are gonna like this app. Look at it.
Aww.
It's the catwalk community. Sharer
Catwalk.
events,
Look at that.
uh, catwalkers. Look at that cat walking. What makes our community special? We have safe walking routes, photo adventures, expert tips, walking milestones, safety first. Here's where you can join the community. What's the breed? Whatever a Maine Coon is. What's my leash length? How often do you walk? Your favorite walking location, your cat's personality. Tell us more. So look at what I just did. And from this point, I could build in walking routes. I could build in tips. I could say, add a portion so I can buy cat leashes right from Amazon. Okay. Once again, without knowing how to code, what this is going to do is it's going to add this to your app. So I'm showing you this because I want you guys to think. So look, it's adding a beautiful cat leash shopping section with Amazon integration. Sorry,
I
Jess.
caught that too, Nicole. They missed the leash detail. Okay, so let's back this. Let's go back to the AI forum we hosted earlier this week, which was full of risk people. Enterprise software with all of its data controls and integrations and governance and sort of like foundational security versus lovable. What are risk people going to freak out about? How can we help people get over legitimate reasons, pros and cons?
So, I mean, the thing that's really important to understand about that. Now, by the way, the cat one is a weird example.
It's a good
Um,
example.
but I hope you guys take a second to start to think about this. So, I mean, if you just go into your normal chat GPT, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, Jess, and so that you can see.
Mhm.
If I want to integrate, notice in chat GPT, I have a piece here called search connectors. When I go to search connectors, look what I can do. I can add in anything, Teams, Outlook, any app that I wanted to create, I could do it. And I'm using what's called an MCP, Model Context Protocol server, to do this. Which, by the way, I can now tie into Workday this way. I can tie into Oracle this way. I can tie into SuccessFactors this way. Okay, but it's leveraging the same OAuth security from all of these tools. Okay, so right now, what I just did is I'm connected to my Gmail, and from here I can say how many. Well, I get so many junk emails. How many emails did I get from Substack today? Now I'm not going into email, but look what this is doing. This is automatically within ChatGPT looking at my email, and I could find any tiny little bits of granular detail, like I have a bill to pay, et cetera, et cetera. I see I didn't connect. But notice if I connected, I would be able to get it right from there. So these powers are really, so let's say you want to connect to SharePoint or connect to your Google Drive of all of your different things. You can do that, but it's leveraging the same security, Jess, is my point that I was trying to make.
So you can assume security controls. So why would anybody build enterprise software anymore? I'm liking this
Jess?
interview. I just get to play bad
No,
cop.
I think it's a really interesting discussion. And I'm going to go back because I want you guys to take a look at my app. Look what happened in that app. Look what it did.
Wow.
Oh, now if I wanted to fix that, what would I do? Fix it so I can buy right from Amazon. The only way you guys can get better at this, sorry, is to play
Mhm.
like I'm doing.
That's so funny that happened to you. I literally this morning read something about how companies are reimagining their 404 pages because ChatGPT and all of these tools are not always getting the links perfect. So people are landing on 404 pages, maybe a little bit more than you otherwise would. So now companies are even rethinking their 404 pages so that they can kind of like pick you back up and get you to the right place. What a wild time. I like your point about you guys got to play with this, and I agree. It's actually one of the most common objections I hear that people have as of today, we still have day jobs full of our usual routines and tasks. People don't have time to learn and play and experiment at work. So how do we find the time to hack my own job, to learn something new, to suggest innovation that's good for the business if I'm so bogged down in my day job? How do we help people get over this?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, once again, not to go back to Substack, but I actually did create a post on this, which I called that I created a job, you know, called an AI value leader or an AI
Awesome.
value partner.
Yep, I love it.
And I talked to the organization I was with in DC today about creating one where you make this one person's job. And that one person every week in a meeting listens to what's going on and not only brings you the understanding of what AI is doing, but that concept of first principles thinking to say, guys, let's think one step further. Let's go one step deeper and realizing they know all of the tools, both inside and external, that they can leverage to be able to bring this to life. Because it's not, we can't all do this.
Yeah.
And it's not good to all do this because what we're going to do is we're going to crash into each other. But if you think about every function having one of those AVPs, AI value partner, that's going to make a huge difference going forward. That AI value partner owns mindset, heart set, skill set, and tool set.
Hmm.
They don't just own AI. And that's really, really important going forward.
Was this helpful, you guys? Just taking a pause and seeing what's going on and what's out there.
We
Um,
could spend hours and hours and hours and hours doing it. I'm glad that the AI forums are good. We're going to work on creating some additional videos and things so that you actually can see and do. But like the two things I would recommend is I would recommend the comic browser and just take a look at it. I wanted to show the Arist piece so bad. I'm gonna show that
oh,
next week. Um, Arist just came out with some. For those of you who don't know Arist,
they're
Arist
so good.
is an amazing learning platform, and they just came out with some amazing new capability this week. That y- you basically say, "I want to train someone on this," and what it does is it actually creates the training in bite-sized nuggets that you can send it through WhatsApp, through Teams, through SMS. But it doesn't just create it, it actually creates it so that it's reactive and prescriptive. So that based on just answering a question wrong, guess what? The next one, all of a sudden, it's going to give her a different response. So it's not scripted, Arist, ARIST. So yeah, please take a look at them.
I need to go back
Amazing.
in and have it teach me something. I asked it to teach me the rules of soccer once, and I had so much fun engaging with it. Like over the course of a week, it taught me the different position of players and like the rule. So like I have to go back in. I know they've been doing great work.
Yeah, and really quickly, I just wanted Brad's comment. Brad, I really quickly, it comment is only for Perplexity Max customers. I just requested access as not a Perplexity Max customer, and I got it in 5 minutes. I was like, That was an interesting process. So
Yeah.
there's a little button there that says request access. If you request access, like literally in 5 minutes, I got an email saying, "Oh, you've got access now." So they're opening that up pretty fast.
I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. Jason, I know you have a gate to get to.
Oh
Uh,
shoot, I've had so much fun here, but I almost forgot I'm in the
you better
airport, and
not
I
miss
almost
your
forgot I was
plane.
supposed to fly. Yeah, my flight's in 20 minutes. Okay, this
Oh,
has
I
been
want to know
fun,
in the chat,
Jess.
has anybody ever missed a flight because you were so busy working or talking on the phone?
But great people, great people.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, so this was fun. Thanks everyone. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Love you all, and talk to you next week.
Thanks,
Take care.
everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.